G'day folks, just testing out a starter motor I picked up today. I know it's not made for this engine, it's actually for a large Kubota mower or ride-on tractor or something. But I'm going to try and adapt it to this engine. I think the gear sprocket ratio is just right. Works quite well. Should be pretty powerful. Got to try and adapt it in there and get the right spacing and distance to the flywheel. That's the only problem. Just get it to engage. Well, I know it's crude, but this seems to work. Haven't powered it up yet, but the gear ratio is perfect. The teeth mesh very nicely. Just got to work out a mounting bracket or something. Technically I need to machine about 5mm off the face of this housing, but I can't. So it's going to be driving on the better half of the teeth here anyway. It just won't be 100% out. And I've carefully shaved the nut and part of this other wing on the distributor housing so we don't get any shorts. I've got a little mylar cap that I can slide over that and prevent any arcing out or anything. Apart from that, I've just got to work out the best way to stop this starter from wriggling around. But it might do it. Once I've got it secured, I'll do a test shot with the battery and just see if it turns it over. Alrighty then. Now it's a bit dodgy looking, but this motor's clamped in the right position and a little momentary switch here. Bit of insulation between the distributor and the starter motor power terminal, and we'll give it a try. Power on. Beautiful. Hope it's fast enough to actually get it to start though. Well, it's not bad. Not a bad thing at all. I'll get my ignition hooked up, fuel, water. Let's see if we can start this sucker. Well, this is the moment of truth, folks. Water circulation happening. Gas is hooked up. Got power. Everything's clear and out of the way. I still haven't got a replacement oil filter in yet, so I can't run it too long with lack of oil up to the top end. Still got to troubleshoot that, but we'll go ignition on. Well, the starter motor is a good success, but unfortunately we still don't have oil pressure. It seems to be getting worse. What I've done is I've taken this banjo bolt out and plugged the discharge with the gauge from the refrigeration system, and it reads about 400 kPa at idle. Now whatever's getting through the oil filter and out is being bled off by a bad bearing in the bottom end. At least that's what I believe. Maybe the bottom end's getting a lot of oil, but up here is just getting bugger all. So I've replaced the busted oil pressure sender with this little inspection valve from a air conditioner. The threads seem to be the same to go into the block. I'll tighten that up and fit up a kPa gauge. At idle it reads about 400. So I'll set that up as one of my gauges. Wiring wise, I'm going to make a starting panel for starter and ignition on. At least once I sort this oil problem out. If not, I'll have to tear the whole thing apart. And that means taking this end casting off, the clutch, the drive plate, everything down here, all got to come apart. It's a bit of a bugger, but I'll see what I can get done with this. I'll change the oil too. I've got flushing compound in there at the moment which has thinned the oil down a bit. So I'll put really thick oil in there and just see if she can build a bit of pressure. I think the crankshaft bent. Probably run for a very long time without proper oil pressure and just ruin the bearing. There's no filter element in the oil filter either, there's no restriction. I get 400 kPa off the banjo. As soon as I hook it up, I lose all oil pressure. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, well I found one of the main problems with the oil system is that there was a vacuum leak on the suction pickup and it was sucking air. So I fixed that up now, but I still don't get very satisfactory oil pressure. We get to about 200 kPa and then that's about it. Whereas before, when I completely plugged this line off, we ended up with 400. But obviously wear and tear in the bearings is doing it. We're slinging oil out of the front main seal, which is probably a good sign. We're actually getting oil to the cam chain. At least it's nice to know there is oil getting through there, but don't really want splinging out too much. This plug was missing when I got it. That's part of the suction for the galleries. So I've remade a new plug with 100% tight seal this time. Slightly better vacuum as well. Apart from that, I think that's about the best I'm going to get. It's about 200 kPa at idle. There's an inspection plate down here though for the oil filter suction or oil pickup. So I can take that off and inspect that if I have to. Might be plugged up with gunk, but there is definitely shitloads of oil pouring out of here. It's poured out everywhere and I started it without the filter on. Apart from that, maybe change out the oil filter and just go from there. It'll never be perfect, but it stopped knocking. That's the main thing. Oil up the top. Not much, but enough. It takes a while to come up. Well, it's not healthy, but it works. Definitely got improvement to do on that lubrication system. Well, thanks for watching, folks.